Welcome back to First Look Asia. Lace-up heels, pointed toe flats, knee-high boots. The options are endless when it comes to women's shoes.
Absolutely, and one Singaporean shoe designer is adding to the mix. His designs have found fans in Hollywood celebrities like Ginny Mai, Latoya Jackson and Vivica A. Fox, and his label will be closing Singapore Fashion Week this year.
Right here in the studio to tell us more is MASHIZAN, founder and creative director of MASHIZAN. Thank you very much for joining us this evening.
You're welcome.
This morning.
Good morning, guys.
Let's start with this juicy trivia here. Before you became a shoe designer, you have a bit of a history with Channel News Asia and our very own Lance Alexander.
I can't believe this. This is fantastic.
Indeed. I mean, I started my career here actually as a broadcast journalist, as a producer, back in 1996. That's how long ago that was. I was trained as a journalist. I was producing for MediaCorp for a number of years, and then in 2000 I left and started producing independently for documentary networks and all. I actually left for New York in 2005, so I lived in New York for 6 years actually.
Wow.
Working for National Geographic and History and Discovery. Came back and continued my TV career. Did pretty okay in Singapore, but I've always had a burgeoning feeling of wanting to do something with shoes. I've always loved women's shoes. They're beautiful. They're like works of art, right? So took a sabbatical and started studying in Florence, shoemaking, shoe designing. Came back to Singapore, started doing a small brand, and before you know it, I'm here doing Fashion Week.
You know, we couldn't be more proud. For what you've achieved.
Incredible.
You've got some beautiful shoes on display, and you're also getting celebrities to wear them too. Let's talk about the shoe you have.
Because of my background in television, I mean, the visual storytelling is so important, and you know the drill. It's all about stories, right? And so for each collection of mine, to make ourselves more distinct and different from others, it's going to be based or inspired by a documentary that I've done before in the past. So for this particular collection, it's based on a History Channel doc that I did in 2006. Called Inside the Volcano. So I actually went filming to Iceland, Italy, Greece, the US and Indonesia. So this particular shoe, this is my favorite actually. It's called the Tambora Silver. And there's a story behind this because when I was in Hawaii, walking on hot, crusty lava. It was literally these silvery, crusty rocks that we were walking on. And every step you took, you can hear crack, 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 because you were so afraid that you'd fall into this lava soup, right? And I was afraid for my crew safety. So that has always been etched in my mind, and because of that, I am reminded of that, and that's this design.
Look at that design.
And this is our signature heel actually.
Wow.
It's cut out.
Maybe, can you just turn it around? Yeah, that is a very unusual type of heel as well. Yeah. Now, it's interesting that you've drawn on your television experience to create beautiful works of art. And also, you're now based in Florence, Italy. How has that also influenced your designs?
I think because I was trained in Florence, Italy, my design sensibilities are very much Italian. I was always fascinated with Italian films, Italian screen goddesses of the 1960s, Gina Lollobrigida, Sophia Loren. So these women are just the embodiment of the MASHIZAN woman that I see. She's strong, she's powerful, she's empowered, and she's not afraid to speak her mind.
Do you have any guinea pigs when it comes to your design?
What do you mean?
Tested on someone?
Oh yes, we do. Every time we do a sampling, after a sample is done, we always do the batch testing. We get a group of my friends who are size 37, which is the sampling size, and they get to try on, give me feedback, and I think it's very important to do market testing to see what works in some market may not necessarily work in others.
If you think about it, in a couple of years you've achieved so much, and now you're a big-time celebrity, my friend. You'll be closing out Fashion Week for this year in Singapore. Isn't that it's a remarkable achievement? You must be so proud of what you've done.
I think for me, the most important thing is what I've got to say. I think ultimately for me, it's my journey as a designer. The design voice is very important. The celebrity aspect of it is not quite what I'm after, but it comes with the game, and I know that's part of the game. But ultimately for me, I want to create beautiful works of art on women's feet, and here they are.
I know you're based in Florence, Italy, but you're Singaporean, and you're part of a group of very talented Singapore designers in this field. It's not easy to really make that wave, but you have. Can you tell us what is it about Singapore that helped you to excel in this arena?
I think I've always been a very driven, motivated person, so I think I've always wanted to do something that's different. I like challenges. I think for me that makes me feel alive and thriving. So launching a brand is not easy. I mean, to compete with the big boys is really, really hard. But I feel like it's possible, and I think the fact that we've been so open to a globalized world, and we're very cosmopolitan, and we are not so attuned to just one culture or one dimension, one civilization, but we're open to different civilizations and different cultures. So that makes us very distinctive.
What are customers these days looking for in a shoe?
It depends. Obviously, depending on the market and depending on the age group as well. My first collection was very much all about high heels and glamour, which I wanted to go out and start with a bang. Subsequent collections, I came up with sort of different heel heights. Now I've got even flats even. So for women who want to, to be more comfortable during daytime, there is that option from us now. Really trying to play with different target audiences, really.
If you came up with an idea on a shoe, how long before you would actually see it in its entirety for you?
Well, the process really takes about 5 to 6 months. It really begins on what is the collection going to be about, the design inspiration behind it. And for us, obviously, it's about a documentary that I've done before. So I will always need to go back to that point in time when I was doing it, what images stuck in my head. And then, of course, looking at the leathers and trends that are available, coming up with a silhouette, doing the sketches, and then going to work with the factory. The whole process takes a few months. And then, of course, once we go into sampling, it will take a few more rounds before you get production.
And we'll be seeing these pieces at the Singapore?
Yes, indeed. At Singapore Fashion Week, we are actually doing the final show. It's on Sunday at 9 p.m. I'm showcasing both my fall-winter collection as my spring-summer one, which is coming up next year. So there's the element of buy now, see now. That's kind of the trend these days. So you see it on the runway and you can get it at Robinson's or Julian Nicole, wherever the shoes are sold, really.
Wow, that's really fantastic. And when you go back to Italy, hopefully you'll come up with a couple more designs based on what you've done here on First Look Asia. Oh, MASHIZAN, it's a real pleasure having you on the show, and all the best.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And we've been speaking with Singaporean shoe designer MASHIZAN, Mas Jom, founder and creative director of MASHIZAN. Beautiful name.
Beautiful indeed. And that's our show for this Monday, 24th of October. We're back tomorrow with lots more great stuff.
Absolutely. Techno's Top 5 is back. It's been a month with gadgets, games, and gizmos.